It was 2 a.m., and I was staring at my ceiling, my mind racing. Another month had passed, and somehow, my savings were still shrinking. The bills had stacked higher than ever, my credit card notifications pinged endlessly, and the job I once thought secure suddenly felt fragile. Everyone around me seemed to have it figured out: side hustles, investments, passive income streams. And here I was, trapped in the loop of worry, endlessly scrolling through financial advice that never seemed to stick. Then there was the growing whisper in the back of my mind: AI is changing everything. Jobs that once felt stable were becoming automated, algorithms predicting markets, even personal finance apps promising to optimize your money. I felt a mixture of awe and fear. Could I keep up? Could I protect my future, or would I wake up one day realizing I had fallen behind while the world moved on? That night, I knew something had to change. I couldn't keep lying awake in anxiety, wondering if I was making the right choices. I needed a plan. Not just any plan, a plan that worked for me, tailored to my goals, my mistakes, my life. And that's when I stumbled upon something that would change everything: the idea of letting AI guide my financial decisions. I was skeptical at first. Could a machine really understand me better than I understood myself? But desperation has a way of opening doors you never thought you'd step through. Little did I know, this choice would not only transform my finances, it would change how I slept, how I thought about money, and ultimately, how I saw my future. By the end of this video, I'll take you through exactly how I made that leap of trust, what it felt like to hand over the reins, and why it might just be the smartest financial decision you ever make. A few weeks after that sleepless night, reality hit harder than ever. I opened my bank app and froze. My savings weren't just stagnant, they were barely keeping pace with inflation. Every decision I'd made to save, to invest, to plan, it felt like it had been for nothing. And the more I read about AI taking over industries, automating jobs I thought were secure, the heavier the weight became. My income, my future, my sense of stability, everything felt fragile. I started noticing the signs everywhere. My colleagues at work quietly whispering about AI tools replacing routine tasks. Even my part-time freelance gigs were being undercut by algorithms that worked faster and cheaper than I ever could. The financial advice I had clung to, the spreadsheets, the apps, the DIY plans, they suddenly seemed inadequate in a world moving at AI speed. Panic set in. How could I prepare when the rules of the game were changing so fast? I remember pacing my apartment, staring at my dwindling account balance, wondering if I'd made a mistake in trusting myself all this time. The fear wasn't just about money. It was about time. Every moment wasted stressing over ineffective strategies felt like a moment my future self would regret. I had to find a way to adapt fast. That's when it clicked: what if I didn't have to do it all alone? What if there was a way to leverage AI not to replace me, but to guide me, my decisions, my savings, my investments, tailored to me? The idea seemed both terrifying and exhilarating. Could I really trust a machine with my future? Could I hand over the reins without losing control? This was the turning point. The moment I realized that doing nothing wasn't an option. The stakes had never been higher. My financial survival depended not just on hard work, but on smarter decisions, informed by technology that could process more than I ever could in a lifetime. And yet, letting go of control, that was the hardest part. In that moment, fear and hope collided. I was on the edge of a decision that could change everything or nothing at all. And it all started with one small step: trusting AI to help me plan for a future that, until now, had felt terrifyingly uncertain. The morning after that sleepless night, I decided to take one more desperate step. I typed into my search bar, AI Personal Finance Assistant. What I found felt like stepping into the future: tools that promised to understand my financial habits, predict my cash flow, even recommend personalized investments. Skepticism wrestled with hope. Could this really work for me? I started small. I input my expenses, my bills, my goals. The AI analyzed patterns I hadn't even noticed: recurring small purchases that added up, subscription services I barely used, even the timing of my paycheck versus my spending habits. It was like having a financial coach who never judged, never got tired, and could see every tiny detail I'd missed. The first week, I automated my savings. AI suggested taking just 10% of my income and splitting it between a high-yield savings account and a conservative investment portfolio. It felt almost magical. My money was working for me, even when I wasn't thinking about it. And slowly, the anxiety that had kept me up at night began to ease. I could see the path forward. Then came the budgeting suggestions. The AI didn't just tell me to spend less, it recommended actionable steps: shift my grocery spending to cheaper brands, schedule automatic bill payments to avoid late fees, even optimize my utility usage based on historical data. Each recommendation was small, precise, and immediately implementable. It wasn't overwhelming, it was empowering. I even began exploring AI-managed side hustles and investment tools. Platforms that used machine learning to manage fractional investments, peer-to-peer lending insights, and even microtask automation became part of my routine. I was learning while earning, making smarter choices without overloading my mind. By the end of the first month, my progress was tangible. My savings balance was no longer stagnant, it was growing steadily. My debt felt manageable. My stress was melting away. I realized something important: the AI wasn't replacing me, it was amplifying me. It allowed me to make informed decisions, to experiment safely, to see the consequences before they happened. But perhaps the most important change wasn't just in my bank account, it was in my mind. For the first time in years, I felt in control. I could sleep at night without the gnawing worry of, did I make the right choice, or am I falling behind? Every morning, I woke up with clarity, knowing that my financial plan was active, intelligent, and tailored to me. This gradual transformation, trusting AI, learning alongside it, implementing small changes, showed me that financial freedom wasn't about luck or perfect decisions. It was about consistency, knowledge, and having the right tools. And AI gave me exactly that. By the time I looked at my first 3-month progress report, I wasn't just seeing numbers. I was seeing the confidence I had built, the stress I had shed, and the life I could finally plan without fear. By the 3rd month of trusting AI with my finances, something remarkable happened. I didn't just see numbers improve, I understood why they were improving. It wasn't luck. It wasn't magic. It was strategy, automation, and consistency, powered by AI. Here's the first lesson: automate what you can. I learned that the human brain isn't built for remembering every bill, every due date, or every small saving opportunity. My AI assistant did it for me. It automatically transferred money into savings accounts, invested small amounts in diversified portfolios, and even reminded me to pause subscriptions I didn't need. It was like planting a tree that watered itself, small actions every day creating massive growth over time. Lesson 2: track and understand your habits. AI isn't just a calculator, it's a mirror. I could see exactly where my money was going and spot patterns I would have missed. One example: I discovered I was spending $60 a month on coffee I barely drank. AI highlighted it, suggested a modest shift, and suddenly, I had extra money for my emergency fund. It's not about depriving yourself, it's about clarity and control. Lesson 3: invest smarter, not harder. AI doesn't guess. It analyzes data in ways no human could. I started small, using AI-managed micro-investments that diversified my risk. Watching my money grow, even incrementally, felt empowering. It's like having a personal financial GPS that guides you past potholes you can't even see yet. Lesson 4: side hustles and passive income can be AI-assisted too. Platforms exist that use AI to match your skills to short-term gigs, automate repetitive tasks, or even suggest products to sell online based on market trends. It's not replacing work, it's multiplying the impact of the work you already do. Finally, trust the process, but check the numbers. AI isn't magic, and it isn't perfect. It's a tool, and its recommendations should inform your decisions, not replace your judgment. I checked weekly, adjusted when needed, and over time, the consistency compounded. My anxiety decreased because I knew my money wasn't just floating aimlessly, it was working for me while I slept, literally. Imagine this: every dollar you earn is a little worker building your future. Left alone, it might wander or waste its energy. Give it guidance, automate, track, invest, and it becomes a team of unstoppable builders, quietly constructing your financial security. That's what AI did for me. By combining automation, insight, smart investment, and AI-assisted side hustles, I didn't just improve my finances, I regained control, confidence, and peace of mind. The best part? The process is scalable. Whether you're starting with $50 a month or $5,000, the principles remain the same: automate, track, optimize, and let AI amplify your efforts. These lessons aren't theory, they're the steps I took to turn uncertainty into clarity, stress into strategy, and fear into empowerment. And the sooner you start, the sooner you sleep better, knowing your future is being shaped intelligently, step by step. Looking back, the day I decided to trust AI with my financial future was the day everything changed. Not because a machine made me rich overnight, but because it gave me something far more valuable: clarity, confidence, and control. I no longer wake up in a cold sweat, wondering if I made the wrong choice, or if my money is slipping through my fingers. Instead, I wake up knowing my finances are being guided intelligently, step by step, while I focus on living my life. AI didn't just manage my money, it gave me peace of mind, the kind of peace that allows you to dream again, plan again, and sleep again. The truth is, financial freedom isn't about working harder. It's about working smarter, leveraging tools, and taking control of what you can control. AI is not here to replace us, it's here to empower us, to amplify our decisions, and to help us build a future that once felt out of reach. If there's one takeaway from my journey, it's this: start small, start now. Automate your savings, track your spending, explore AI-assisted investments, and let your money work for you. You don't have to figure it all out alone. The sooner you take that step, the sooner fear transforms into confidence, uncertainty into clarity, and sleepless nights into restful ones. Your financial future isn't waiting, it's being built right now, in every decision you make. Trust the tools, trust the process, and most importantly, trust yourself to take the first step. If this story resonated with you, hit subscribe for more stories that change how you see money, and discover practical ways to take control of your financial life today.